We're at the AIChE Spring Meeting and 8th Global Congress on Process Safety, and today we're going to talk with Dr. Trey Morrison, better known as Trey, who is actually the chair of the Global Congress. Trey is also an expert consultant in product safety and product liability and chemical process safety, and he's affiliated with Exponent. Trey, the conference is now entering its second day, and I was wondering if you could tell us some of the highlights of the conference thus far for the audience that will be seeing this online and not in person.
Sure. Well, I hope a lot of these presentations, if not all of them, are available online later. Mm-hmm. There are really some good ones. I'd have to say that the biggest highlight so far has been the success of the PSM Squared, the Process Safety Management Mentoring track that we created. Yesterday we brought in 9 very famous process safety folks from around the country who talked, gave their spiel, half-hour sections, and the room was overflowing. Young professionals, old professionals who wanted to feel young, getting back to the basics in process safety. So that was one of the big highlights, one of the big successes. There are other trends that I've seen. We've had a lot of interest in human factors, which is good. Human factors interlaces with everything that happens in the plant. Human systems are everywhere. I noticed an interesting theme from our speakers, which I'm not sure if these are going to be presented on the web or not, the lunchtime speakers, but yesterday's lunchtime speaker, then the speaker for the safety and health dinner last night, and then today's lunchtime speaker all had a continuous thread of nuclear process safety, which was kind of interesting. Yesterday's speaker started his career in the Navy as a nuclear officer on a submarine. Then he went into chemical engineering and chemical process safety after that. Last night's speaker at John Baxter from BP, who's the lead engineer in the company, started out his career on a Navy submarine in the UK as a nuclear officer.
That's interesting. So I guess, is it that the skills that you're bringing to process safety and other engineers are bringing to process safety, that some of the same skills and knowledge transfer from nuclear to other energy to chemical processing to pharmaceutical processing, that those skills cross the sectors of industry?
Well, definitely. One of the fantastic things about chemical engineering for everybody who chose that is their degree path or gets into it later. You're really dealing with systems, and everything that we deal with in the process plant, industry, and society is system related. So chemical engineers have a good foundation for that. And nuclear process safety is pretty much the same as chemical process safety in the plant, just with the added threat of radiologic hazards.
Did you start off in a submarine, or how did you get involved and passionate about safety?
Actually, I didn't. No, I have to finish up. Today's speaker was actually Ms. Jessie Roberson from the Defense Nuclear Facility Safety Board.
Oh, wow.
And they are the government entity that is charged with overseeing chemical process safety at nuclear facilities. So really that's what's brought that nuclear threat home. It's kind of an interesting theme. I got started in the field of process safety, I'd have to say before I even got into chemical engineering. I have taken a traditional path. I started out with a bachelor's degree in chemistry. I knew going into that path that I wanted to be a chemical engineer, but I made some other decisions. I wanted to go to a small liberal arts school to get a well-rounded education first. And I remember my senior year, I was doing independent research in the lab, and I had my first exposure to a chemical incident gone wrong. We were drying ether, and this is chemists probably recognize this. You take benzophenone and sodium metal and ether out of the jar, and you distill it, and the benzophenone reacts with the water and the sodium and dries the ether. Well, we were cleaning the crud out of our distillation pot and ended up finding a hidden pocket of water. And next thing I know, my advisor is holding a jet engine that exploded right in front of us, and neither one of us were injured. But that was my first introduction to, you know, energetic chemicals.
I guess that would make you more interested in safety after an incident
Yeah.
like that. Then, did you go on to graduate school in chemical engineering, or?
I did. You know, I did an internship at the end of my chemistry degree with an engineering consulting company that specialized in failure analysis and accident investigation, which sold me even more on the value of chemical engineering. Then I went to Oklahoma State, where I pursued my master's degree, and then came back to work for that company again, where I got into the field where I'm at now, where I consult with clients on bad things that have happened and how to prevent future bad things from occurring. So it's, you know, my experience is atypical for most of those in chemical process safety, because where your typical chemical engineer will have a catastrophic incident once in their career, I jump from catastrophic incident to the next, so I'm always exposed to that.
So you're like the tornado chaser of chemical engineers. So, I was wondering, the 8th Congress has been such success, so well attended. How is the person who's the chair of the 9th Congress next year going to top you, do you think?
Well, Vic Edwards, you know, he definitely has a hill ahead of him, but you know, I did very little of this myself. You know, I was merely the catalyst to get some great folks from the different symposia and AIChE together to help them finalize the ideas that had gelled. You know, I think Vic is going to be able to take the same folks, you know, and I'm going to be right there, you know, helping him out to make San Antonio equally successful.
Okay. Well, thank you and congratulations on a great meeting.
Thank you.